It is my passion to see a new church starting up. God has been speaking to us about moving back to Asia someday for ministry. Okay, so initially I thought, God, maybe after my kids are all grown up, but sometimes God's timing is not our timing.
Having been in Hong Kong for 5 years as a married couple in full-time ministry, and then Beijing for almost 5 years, and then now we've been here in Singapore 9.5 years. It was a tough transition.
We had 4 young kids at the time, and Singapore was a new city.
My boys moving from Australia to Bangkok and from Bangkok to Singapore, coming to a very expensive city. We know that the cost of living is going to increase by quite a lot.
We wanted to send them to local school to the point where we decided that we'll keep the kids out of school. So we applied for the local school. They tested, we went through all the process, and we found out later that it was a huge influx. There were a lot of that particular year. So that was a huge shock. We didn't have a plan B. Cost was an issue. And so we didn't know what we were going to do. And so we found ICS. And somehow, some way, by God's grace, we were admitted into ICS. And ICS was also willing to meet us, in the middle and help us out.
The mission at ICS is to transform lives. The education is the education. That's the conduit, the means of us to be able to reach those children. But it's the impacting their lives. That's at the core of who I am, and it's at the core of who we are at ICS.
To see my boys learning to worship with their hand lifted up, them growing with an awareness of the presence of God in their life, that brings a lot of joy and fulfillment to me as a dad. Not as a pastor, but as a dad.
Our children are going to go out into the world having been raised up and equipped. They've caught it, the love of God, in the school community. And they're going to be incredible agents and messengers and ambassadors for the kingdom of God.
So I'm always a firm believer that the family, the church, and the school works together to raise up leaders.
For us to have the confidence and the assurance that our kids are taken care of and that God has made provision, our children would not have grown up into the young men and women they are, leaders, followers of Christ, if people hadn't given in faith towards this fund.
Every seed that we sow into the kingdom of God will reap a reward, and it will be significant in the days to come.
Everybody deserves a high quality education, and we want to give a high quality Christian education to as many people as we can. What you do to support ICS so that we can support those students is building God's kingdom. That's really going to have an impact on kids 30 years from now.
Yeah, so I believe that working in partnership with the school, the church, and families, we can raise up mighty children in the land.